Good evening and welcome to the Fanatics of Film. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button, click on the notification bell, and give this video a like. Thanks for watching. This is we're starting our binge covering of Ozark, one of my favorite films of 2000s or shows of 2017 that broke out in 2017. This was something that came about on Netflix, and it was really kind of a cool thing. I saw this thing explode on Twitter. I follow Jason Bateman on Twitter, and it was cool to see that he's directing these episodes. He's directing all these episodes, and it's cool to see that he just kind of nonchalantly was just like, hey, this is a new thing. Breaks. It was just because he was like doing all these other comedies and stuff, but apparently, which is just really exciting to me. And some people have said it's like Breaking Bad, and some other people have kind of bashed on it a little bit, saying it's too much like Breaking Bad. But I think it's really got its own thing. This really does have its own thing. It's definitely not. I mean, it's definitely in the same genre as Breaking Bad, but it still has its own thing. This is a fantastic series, great series about a regular guy who's just in finance, a very smart guy who's kind of thrown into a really nasty situation with money, and it's just really interesting, really, really informative and interesting stuff. The way this came about was okay. So the Birds and their teenage kids, Charlotte and Jonah, are for all intents and purposes an ordinary family with ordinary lives, except for the job of Marty, a Chicago financial advisor who also serves as the top money launderer for the second largest drug cartel in Mexico. When things go awry, Marty must uproot his family from the skyscrapers of Chicago and relocate to the Lazy Lake region of the Missouri Ozarks. So anyway, this is just the pilot is freaking awesome. I mean, it opens up with this great monologue, and real quick here, we're just going to jump into it. It's reminiscent of Bloodlines, if you have seen that great film series with it's a series with Ben Mendelsohn as the villain there. Really great series as well. Scratch, wampum, dough, sugar, clams, loot, bills, bones, bread, bucks, money, that which separates the haves from the have-nots. But what is money? It's everything if you don't have it, right? Half of all American adults have more credit card debt than savings. 25% have no savings at all. And only 15% of the population is on track to fund even 1 year of retirement. Suggesting what? That the middle class is evaporating? That the American dream is dead? You wouldn't be sitting there listening to me if the latter were true. You see, I think most people just have a fundamentally flawed view of money. It is simply an agreed upon unit of exchange for goods and services. $3.70 for a gallon of milk, $30 to cut your grass? Or is it an intangible? Security or happiness? Peace of mind? Is it either of these things? Let me propose a third option. Money as a measuring device. You see, the hard reality is how much money we accumulate in life is not a function of who is president, or the economy, or bubbles bursting, or bad breaks, or bosses. It's about the American work ethic, the one that made us the greatest country on earth. It's about bucking the media's opinion as to what constitutes a good parent, deciding to miss the ball game, the play, the concert because you've resolved to work and invest in your family's future, and taking responsibility for the consequences of those actions. Patience, frugality, sacrifice. When you boil it down, what do those three things have in common? Those are choices. Money is no peace of mind. Money is not happiness. Money is, as its essence, the measure of a man's choices. Anyway, I find that intro, I find that monologue phenomenal. The phenomenal monologue, the phenomenal phenomenologue, the phenomenal monologue that is really, really great stuff. So in this first episode, just to get right into it here, they have some really cool things happen. You've got Marty and his friend slash co-worker, and they're thinking about, they're looking at real estate, trying to purchase this new place of business. And later on, then the character development between his family, his 2 teen kids are great, just really strong characters and just really believable, just really, really cool, likable characters, kind of. But the dynamic between them all is really great. There's just this very interesting Chicagan type of lifestyle that they're in, and from the very beginning, Marty finds out that his wife is having an affair. Someone sent him, or at least I guess he had been having her watched, and the private investigator who he had hired had filmed them. So anyway, crazy stuff that goes on there. So he's just trying to kind of bring it out of her this whole time. He ends up there's this whole scene where he's hanging out with this prostitute, and she's just telling him how great he is. Basically, just I would just wait for you and be your everything to you. And it turns out he's just imagining it. It's just this, anyway, very subversive stuff, but not so much in the sense that it's too artistic. Just beautiful stuff, really great stuff in the vein of Breaking Bad in this sense. Marty ends up going to see his friend. His friend says, we have one of our investors here that's asking for their money, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, turns out to be a really bad situation. And a lot of people end up getting rubbed out. So, but anyway, he basically pleads for his life and has to figure out that it has to kind of make something up, that he can wash the funds, that he can kind of create, he can make money for him. He can still be valuable to him. In that, and in this sense of, in this moment of trying to figure out his life, trying to figure out everything, he's watching his life flash before his eyes, remembering this moment of being underneath the trampoline while his kids are bouncing on it and spilling water over him. It's actually a great moment in this story. But anyway, just like having him be there and miss that. And then plead with this cartel that he can be valuable to them. So really interesting stuff. And then we finally get to, of course, he's weighing his options out with this private investigator here, and kind of just talks about how wonders about how if he needs to change his identity. Can we get out of this situation? How can I get out? Can I he contemplates suicide later on, but anyway, he's just all kinds of distraught, and he's trying so hard and wants to save his family. He wants to protect his family. He's being the hunter, protector, gatherer, or at least trying to be that for his family, even though they are in shambles and just falling to pieces in this moment of just scary clarity. And of course, as his wife's trying to just skim some money in the very end towards this with her lover, in the process, the gangsters end up at the apartment and toss the building out of the window, which is a crazy surprising moment. So anyway, once again, I mean, IMDb is giving this season 8 out of 5 stars, and I'm right there with them. Or excuse me, 8 out of 10 stars, and I'm right there with them. Now, this ending scene is actually really great. It opens up over the lake, and you just have this. I mean, he is just desperate, just dying to know what he needs to do. Great sequence of music here. I love this show. Do you love this show too? If you haven't checked it out yet, give it a shot. It's a great season. Season 1 is 10 episodes long, an hour each, and Season 2 is starting in less than a month. I think it's only literally about a week away. As a matter of fact, let's find out right now. Season 2 airs on August 31st. That's coming right up. That's literally next week. So anyway, this is your time to catch up. And thanks again for joining me. My name is Ben here at the Fanatics of Film. You have a fantastic day.